the heart of Ilesha lies a stream so ancient, its whispers haunt the trees. The elders say it's alive, watching, judging, waiting. No one dares fetch water from it after sunset. But Amara, 17 and curious, didn't care for stories. "Grandma, it's just water," she said one night, tying her wrapper and picking up her silver bowl. Her grandmother, eyes wide with fear, grabbed her wrist. "Never go after dusk, Amara. That stream has taken lives." But the stubborn girl laughed softly and slipped out. The night was quiet. Too quiet. Amara reached the stream. The moonlight kissed the water's surface, making it shimmer like glass. As she filled her bowl, she saw a woman seated at the edge of the stream. The woman was tall, graceful, with glowing skin and deep eyes that didn't blink. "Please, Ma," Amara said politely, "can you help me lift this onto my head?" The woman said nothing. She rose slowly and lifted the bowl. "Thank you," Amara said, and walked away. The woman watched in silence until Amara disappeared into the trees. The next night, Amara returned. Her grandmother had fallen asleep after warning her again. "I just need water," Amara whispered to herself. Again, the mysterious woman was waiting at the stream in the same position, same expression. "Please, help me again," Amara requested. The woman stood. This time, after helping her, she spoke. "Don't come again." Her voice was low, like wind rustling through bones. Amara blinked. "Sorry," but the woman had vanished. 3 is the number of completion, and sometimes destruction. On the third night, Amara returned again. She saw the woman. No smile. No words. She lifted the bowl onto Amara's head silently. Amara felt something cold, something ancient, brush her neck. She shivered. She said, "Thank you again," and hurried away, heart beating faster than before. She didn't know that silence was the final warning. By the time Amara reached home, she was shivering. Her hands were cold, her lips pale. She crawled into bed, curled into herself. "Amara?" her grandmother called out. Amara didn't respond. By morning, her skin was icy. She had a high fever, whispering strange things in her sleep. Her hands were too soft, too cold. Her grandmother wept. "You went there again, didn't you?" But it was already too late. By dawn, Grandma lit her oil lamp and stepped outside. She followed Amara's footprints in the dew-soaked soil, down the winding path, past the cocoa trees, to the edge of the stream. There, beside a smooth stone, was a wet handprint, not Amara's. It was too long, too narrow, and still glistening in the sunlight. Grandma fell to her knees, whispering an old Yoruba prayer. "She touched you 3 times, she muttered. "You're already halfway gone." Amara tossed in her sleep, muttering words no one taught her. "River deep, moonlight speaks." I drank her name. The village herbalist arrived with leaves, roots, and smoke. "It's not malaria," he whispered. "Something else holds her." When he sprinkled salt water on her skin, Amara screamed and the water on her forehead steamed. Outside, the wind howled. The trees near the stream shook violently. The goddess was watching. The next day, Grandma summoned 3 elders, the oldest men in the village, who remembered the goddess stories in full. They sat in her hut, eyes heavy with fear. "Why would she appear?" one elder asked. "Because the girl asked for help 3 times, another answered. "The goddess does not serve, not even out of kindness. She warned her," Grandma said. But Amara returned. The eldest elder closed his eyes. "She has marked her." That night, Amara opened her eyes suddenly and sat up. She wasn't in her room anymore. She stood waist deep in the middle of the stream. The water was warm. The moon above was red. On the far side of the bank, the woman waited. Amara took a step forward, like she was being pulled by something inside her. Then the woman whispered, "Now you carry mine." Amara screamed and woke up back in bed, soaked in sweat and crying. Amara knew That morning, she pulled Grandma close and whispered, "I'm sorry. I was proud." I laughed at the old stories. Her grandmother cried silently, rubbing her back. "I should have tied you down." "I saw her again," Amara said. "In my dream, she touched my heart." That night, Amara's temperature dropped to nothing. She took one last breath and whispered, "She's waiting by the water, again." Before the rooster crowed, Amara was gone. By sunrise, the village echoed with sorrow. Women beat their chests. Men gathered under the iroko tree, silent. The story spread like Harmattan fire. Amara is dead, and she saw the stream goddess. The villagers remembered other strange deaths who once challenged the stream. Bodies found cold but untouched. The silence that followed was heavy with fear. No one fetched water that day. Before Amara's burial, her grandmother opened a worn leather book. Inside were records of others who died in similar ways. One name caught her eye: Moreo, her own sister, who vanished at age 17. "She also fetched from the stream," Grandma whispered. In tears, she confessed to the elders, "I never told her the full story. I thought it was all behind us." But the goddess never forgets. That night, a man arrived in the village. His clothes were fine, but his eyes were weary. "I heard about Amara," he said. "It was Moreo's son, Amara's cousin, born after Moreo vanished. She died the same way my mother did." The villagers welcomed him with hushed curiosity. He asked just one question: "Has anyone ever dared speak to the goddess and lived?" A ritual existed unspoken for decades. One must return to the stream alone, with white cloth, cowries, and salt water. "You must not look her in the eye," the elder warned. "If she appears, kneel and listen. If she turns her back, run." Amara's cousin agreed. Before midnight, he stood at the stream's edge, barefoot and trembling. The wind stopped. The water glowed. She appeared. The goddess stepped onto the shore. Her feet didn't touch the ground. She looked younger now, human, and yet not. "You seek answers?" she asked in a voice that echoed twice. He nodded, keeping his head bowed. "She broke the rule of three," the goddess said. "Not out of evil but pride." "I want peace for my family," he whispered. The goddess extended her hand. "You may carry her memory, but not her spirit. That I keep." And then she vanished. By dawn, the villagers awoke to a strange sight. The water in the stream had changed color, not muddy, not bloody, but a pale, eerie blue. And floating gently on the surface was Amara's scarf. No one dared touch it. The elders declared, "This is the goddess's final word. The girl's soul is no longer ours." From that moment, a sacred mark was carved into the trees near the stream: "Never after dark." The elders roped off the area near the water with red cloth and palm leaves. No one, not even hunters or fishermen, crossed that path at night again. Those who tried heard voices. "Do you need help carrying that?" One boy claimed he heard his dead mother's voice at the stream. Another saw a woman with no feet. Fear took over the entire community. Amara's cousin searched her belongings and found a journal worn and tear-stained. She had written about her visits. She was kind, gentle, not what I expected. I thought the warnings were just old stories. I was wrong. The second time, her eyes changed. She looked sad, like she was trying to protect me. "If I return again, I will make her smile." But she never did. Amara's grandmother stood before the village square during the next community gathering. She held up the journal. Her voice cracked. "Our children don't listen because we don't explain. We hide truth behind fear. We must start telling the real stories again." From that day, a new custom was born. Every child would learn the legends of the stream before age 10. It was no longer just a warning. It was survival.